Because your Quran, not me, says that Allah has hands. Your Quran, not me, says that Allah has a shin. Your Quran, not me, says that Allah has speech.
But Allah also says, hold on. Sorry, Habib, no, go ahead.
So when you're commanded to worship Allah, is that Allah in his totality or just some of Allah?
No, but you see, Allah also says in the Quran, there are certain verses that are clear and there are certain verses that are a bit ambiguous.
Right.
And this one seems to be a bit ambiguous. So what I'm trying to say to you is this.
You're talking about Surah 2, Ayah 3, aren't you?
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say to you is this, yeah? I don't know if that's the surah, but what I'm trying to say to you is this, what I'm trying to say to you is this, yeah? That, okay, worshipping Allah or worshipping a speech requires a method. What is the method? Following the speech. Following the speech is worship. Because remember, in Quran, in Islam, worship is very comprehensive. Sleeping with your wife is worship. Giving a charity is worship. Applying perfume is worship.
Smiling.
You know, smiling is worship. So would you then say, oh, by smiling, do you worship smiling? No, we don't. We follow the speech.
No. You've conflated categories there.
I'm not confusing it.
You've conflated categories.
No, I'm not conflating. What I'm saying to you is that if you ask me, do you worship the speech? The way I worship the speech or worship Allah is by following it. That's the methodology. That's the methodology to it.
Can we come to this verse about the ambiguous and the unambiguous verses?
So if you want to.
Right, hold on 1 second. I thought it was Surah 2, Ayah 4, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yes. Oh, do you want to Hamad and
So, because here's a problem.
ambiguous verses and
Or is it 3, 4?
You know the ayat, there are verses who are ambiguous and verses who are clear.
Sorry, it's 7.
Oh, you found it, yeah?
I think so. Yeah, okay, so it's Surah 3, Ayah 7. Okay? Now I'm going to show you another problem in your religion. Okay? I accept that the Quran establishes 2 categories of verses. Category 1, ambiguous verses. Category 2, unambiguous verses. I accept that. I am not disputing it. Here's my challenge to you.
You have good ones.
Show me in the Quran where the Quran defines for you what are the ambiguous verses and the unambiguous verses. So I'm not asking you to show me that it gives you those 2 categories. I accept it. I'm asking you to show me where it defines those 2 categories for you, as in what are ambiguous verses and what are unambiguous verses. What constitutes them?
The way I've always understood
from the Quran, not your opinion.
Yeah, but why does it have to show that, first of all?
Why does it have to? Great question. I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll show you. So in Surah, here the question was a fair one. The answer, I think you will see, is also fair.
Because that ayat seems very open-ending.
I'm going to show you, bro. I'm going to show you why it should.
It just says, look, there's going to be verses.
I'm going to show you. Right. Do you want to hear my answer or not?
Sure.
Okay. So the question is. Okay. It's all right. I got to find the ayah. So here it is.
What do you think? Yeah.
I'm just going to wait for them to finish talking.
Yeah, just keep it open.
Okay. So remember his question. I said, I accept the Quran gives me 2 categories, ambiguous verses and unambiguous verses. And then I asked him, where does the Quran define for you what constitutes the ambiguous and what constitutes the unambiguous? And his question was, why does it have to?
But
here's why.
There's actually explanation.
Go ahead. What? I was just recapping.
Sorry.
Okay? I was just recapping. So now I'm going to answer his question. And here's why it should. Because in Surah 12, Ayah 111, the Quran states this. Indeed, in their stories there is a lesson for men of understanding. It is not a forged statement, confirmation of which were before it, and other scriptures. Sorry, that's in the. There's so many flipping brackets. And here we go. And a detailed explanation of everything. Now, bearing in mind, guys, the Quran says to me, not to you three, it says, consider the Quran, and if it were from any other than Allah, I would be able to find contradictions. So here's the contradiction. The Quran says it is a detailed explanation of everything. A detailed explanation of everything. Now let's not strawman the Quran.
What's that verse?
Let's not strawman the Quran. I'm not saying that the Quran has to tell me Einstein's physics of relativity.
Okay.
But what I am saying is if the Quran touches upon a topic, the Quran should explain the topic.
Yeah.
So, the Quran touches upon a topic, the ambiguous and the unambiguous verses.
Yeah, I remember it.
So now show me in the Quran where it defines and constitutes what's the ambiguous and the unambiguous.
So in the ayat, actually, when you read further, it says actually, you find that the people who tend to gravitate towards the ambiguous verses are the ones who. Can I have the ayat? Because it says actually after, it just explains, it gives a criteria if you like.
It's in the same ayat. It's in 3:7.
Yeah, 3:7. You got 3:7?
It's in 3:7. It says it right here.
Yeah.
So as for those whose hearts were a deviation, they follow that which is not entirely clear thereof, seeking fitna, for it is hidden. Oh, that's brackets again, I think. No. And seeking for its hidden meanings, but none knows its hidden meanings save Allah. Right, hold on one second. Okay. I agree with you that there are ambiguous and unambiguous verses, but that is not a definition of what an ambiguous verse is.
Well, it's telling you that there are certain people, and we know this amongst us Muslims.
Yeah.
Well, we know this because there are certain people, they go to one ayat, it's not ambiguous, but they just want to prove their point.
No, you say it's not ambiguous.
No, I'm saying in the Islamic discourse, intellectual, there has been cases, many people who engage with Islam will know this, there are certain groups amongst Islam who likes to go to particular verses.
Name me one.
The hand one, for example.
No. Name me the groups.
Oh, the Mu'tazilites, the Asharis.
No, you say that Mu'tazila. Like, see, here's the thing, bro, right? All right, you mentioned the Asharis. Here's an Ashari, right? So you're saying he's a deviant.
No, I'm not saying he's a deviant. I'm talking about...
Wait, the Quran says that, though. Listen. So for those so as for those in whose hearts there is a deviation, if there is a deviation, are you not a deviant?
No, but the verse...
so the Quran is wrong.
But you breaking up the verses.
So he doesn't have deviation in his heart.
No, but it also says, prior to that, it says there are clear and ambiguous ones.
Yeah.
And what it's basically saying to you is that there are disputes, there will be disputes amongst certain verses. I'm not saying that it has to be deviancy, because also, is there not...
No, hold on a second.
Hold on.
Sorry, go on. Let you finish, but then I'll come back.
Because there's also a verse where it says, and there are ambiguous and unclear verses, but there's only a few people who understand them. Right? There's only...
No, God only understands.
It says God only in the Quran.
That's the verse in there.
Yes, that's what it says.
Is there not a verse that says, and...
the same verse.
Yeah, it's the same verse.
And you will find that there's...
Right, but here's the problem.
If I take the whole ayat in its entirety, the way I'm understanding the ayat is that Allah is telling us, look, there's going to be verses where you're going to have disputes, and one criteria, it's not the only criteria, one criteria, you find that some people tend to gravitate towards certain ayats. However, the true meaning of these ayats is only with a small piece.
Okay, so here's what you said. I asked you to define for me from the Quran what constitutes the ambiguous and the unambiguous verses. That was my question. And you have not done that, but what you did say, no, I didn't interrupt, well, I did interrupt you, but not for very long. But what you did was you say, well, the Quran doesn't define it, but it says who will gravitate towards them, right? And then you said, and then we quoted the verse, and it says that those who have a deviation in their heart. He's an Ashari, right? And when I said, well, he's a deviant, you said no. So you're now arguing with your Quran.
I'm not arguing. I'm just.
Are the Ashari deviants?
No, I wouldn't say that.
But the Quran, the Quran says that the Ashari deny the reality of the face and the shin.
The Quran has said that.
They don't deny that, by the way.
They do deny them as realities. They say they're metaphors.
Oh yeah.
So they're not realities in and of themselves.
They don't.
They are metaphors to something else.
What?
Of God's actions.
Yeah, they don't. They affirm it, but they don't describe it like some.
The Ash'ari position is actually much closer to the Christian position than the Salafi position, because all of the descriptions of God's body parts that we find in the Old Testament, we interpret them as metaphors of God's actions.
Yeah.
And that's what the Ash'ari do with the face.
Yeah.
But that's not what a Salafi is doing.
Yeah.
Now, if you're saying that those who gravitate to the unambiguous verses, right, and you, not me, you listed the Ash'ari next to the Mu'tazilites.
No.
You did.
No, you asked me.
I asked you to name groups that did that, and you said Mu'tazilite and Ash'ari. So you must be saying that the Ash'ari are like the Mu'tazilites, they are deviants.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying.
On the Mu'tazilite deviant.
When you asked me where, remember I started with giving you examples of ayats. I said the ayat about the hands.
Right.
Did I not say that? Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why I said that is because I've understood that you were saying to me, name me examples of ayats, but you meant name me groups.
So
I misunderstood.
Fair enough. Honest mistake. Yeah. What I'm saying to you, and you still haven't done it yet, is the Quran is claiming to be a clear explanation of everything. Now let's be fair to the Quran. I can't expect the Quran to tell me everything in history and everything in the cosmos, because it would be a book nay big. But one second. But it would be fair of me to expect the Quran to explain the things that the Quran talks about.
What verse is it?
Oh gosh, bro, it is in Surah 13, 111, and it says right there, and a detailed explanation of everything. That's what it says. I've already checked the Arabic. It does say everything. That's an accurate translation. Now the point is, guys, right, I'm going to be fair to the Quran. I'm not asking it to explain Einstein's theory of relativity or why me and you are all stood here talking, because that could also come under everything. That's unfair. What I'm saying is, everything that the Quran talks about, the Quran should explain. That's what I'm saying. Everything the Quran talks about, it should explain, because it says, and a detailed explanation of everything, and a guide and a mercy for the people who believe. So the Quran has said to you that there's ambiguous verses and unambiguous verses. So where does the Quran tell you what are the ambiguous verses and what are the unambiguous verses? Because if it doesn't, then it is not a detailed explanation of everything and a guide of mercy for the people who believe.
The irony is that the verse itself is very ambiguous, isn't it? But
it's a contradiction. It's a contradiction within your Quran.
I don't think it is, but...
So, okay, you say it's not a contradiction, now explain to me why it isn't.
Because I would like to read the verse in its entirety that you...
Here we go. I'll hold my Quran.
Okay, sorry.
It's 111, this one. Yeah, 111. Do you want the Arabic as well?
Yeah.
The Arabic is there. See, the Quran challenges me, not you. It says for me to find a contradiction. I found a contradiction. Prove me wrong.
But you know, your Quran is very confusing.
Thank you. So it's not a clear guidance. I believe that.
It's in English.
Have you had a good chat with somebody who's really a Quran expert?
I keep trying, but they're all running away.
So if I told you...
Ali Dawah ran away.
Ali
Dawah ran away. Mansour ran away. Shamsi runs away.
What's the best answer you got for that?
Is it the creation of the universe? Is a contradiction as well?
What, sorry?
This is Rad, right?
Yes, it's a right.
What, so, there is contradictions about the description.
The creation of man.
I wouldn't say that that's a contradiction, no.
I say some persons say create out of nothing and it creates...
It's Surah 12, 111.
12.
Best explanation you've had
I'm
for
on
that.
13.
No worries. I made the same mistake actually.
This one kind of sees.
It's where 12 begins.
Yeah.
13 begins.
Yeah.
What, sorry?
The human being.
What about the human being?
Allah says it creates out of nothing.
Yes.
Some verses.
Yes.
Some verses out of clay.
Yes.
Out of well,
The Quran. Yeah, the Quran has contradictory descriptions of the creation of man. Yeah, absolutely it does. One part of the Quran says he made us out of water. One part he made us out of a drop of semen. That in itself is just biologically wrong. You know, creation out of semen.
Perhaps not for laymen, like for us, like laymen that don't understand the true meaning of the Quran.
Yeah.
Perhaps, what is your best explanation you've had for that from
So
somebody
far.
who actually knows the scripture?
So far, no one has yet been able to explain it today. I've asked 1, 2, 3. Is it 3 or 4?
About 4 Dawa people.
I've asked 4 Dawa people. So far, no one's been able to explain it. My point to you is, if the Quran gives me a challenge to find a contradiction, I found a contradiction. Now, unless the Muslims can explain to me why my logic is wrong and it isn't a contradiction, then the Quran is not true.
But surely an answer must be in that Quran somewhere.
I would expect that. And that's what I'm looking for. And I've asked Muslims, and they don't seem to be able to find a verse.
They're all laymen here. None of, it's a very difficult, complex.
You bring me a scholar, I'll ask him the same question.
But archaic language.
Do you agree that if you cannot find me an explanation, then currently, at least to my knowledge, I'm justified in saying there's a contradiction?
We've actually.
There's an answer in the Quran, must be. It's just that we just simply don't know.
We just read the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. So he's looking for the Tasfir as well.
That's a
Yep.
complex book, bro.
Yeah.
What?
When do your research.
Qualified.
Brother,
Yeah, but
brother.
you see, but you know, any text, I could go to the Bible, any text of
qualified,
ancient, it's very
to
difficult
really understand
to
that.
know
Yeah.
everything. You know, you have
Archaic
to go back and
language
if you
Are you a Muslim yourself, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go, but I appreciate the fact that you've listened and that you've listened intently. And
a very interesting
certainly.
argument.
And I want to give you a gift. This is for you. This is my gift to you.
Yeah, I respect you. I'll
Please.
accept
Yeah.
it.
Have you got? I know you've got a Bible, haven't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Can I read it?
Do you actually read it?
Yes, I have been recently.
Do you read it
I've
without
recently.
just trying to find an argument
No,
against
I
Christianity?
read it with admiration at times.
Okay, go on.
Look at this.
Which surah and Quran?
So this is Surah 9 and 11. So
9
just before 11.
and 1 second. Surah 9. I promise you, I can count, so I do know that 9:11 comes before 12:11.
Yeah.
1-1. You know. I know you guys think I can't count, but I can.
No, listen, I don't really have much history with you, so I'm trying to be as neutral as possible.
And I appreciate it. I genuinely do.
No matter how hard we try, let me tell you something. The Quran is a very because it's from high power, from the intelligent designer, right? So you can understand it's going to be a very
just the literal
complex
translation
being.
in English.
Surah.
Even in Arabic,
So
I
his
know Arabic,
words-
but I can't understand it. Like
So Surah 9:11. What
Yeah.
got?
Okay, so maybe even if I go one before, yeah. How many signs is there in the heavens and the earth?
Wait, am I in the right place?
Go back to start from 5 to 7. 105, 107.
What? So 9:7. Surah 9, Ayah 7.
Oh no, we're talking about the one that you brought. Do you know the verse about the Quran being clear?
Oh, so Surah
12. Surah 12,
Surah 12.
and then start from 105.
Okay.
And then I read down.
Right. Okay. Let's.
Ali, nice to see you
Right.
praying, though. I have to say, Ali, nice to see you praying. Then. Nice to see you praying.
Surah 12. What? 100 and
105. Yeah, 105.
105.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And are you?
105. Okay.
Okay.
Can we read this quickly? And how many? I'll do the reading, and you
Okay.
can hear me read it.
Okay.
And how many a sign in the heavens and the earth they pass by while they are averse therefrom, and most of them believe not in Allah except that they attribute partners unto Him. Do they then feel secure from coming against them of the covering veil of the torment of Allah, or of the coming against them of the hour, all of the sudden, while they perceive it not? Say, this is my way. I invite unto Allah with sure knowledge. I and whoever follows me. Sorry, I'm just skipping the brackets.
Sure.
And glorified and exalted is Allah. And I am not of the mushrikin. Oh no, that's still a bracket. Any but them men unto whom we revealed from among the people of the townships, have they not travelled in the land and seen what was at the end of those who were before them? And verily the home of the hereafter is the best of those who fear Allah and obey Him. Just skipping the brackets.
Yeah, sure.
Do you not then understand? Bracket. Until when the messenger gave up hope and thought that they were denied, then came to them our help, and whoever we willed were rescued, and our punishment cannot be warded off from the people who are marjimum. Indeed, in their stories there is a lesson for men of understanding. It is not a forged statement, but a confirmation of which were before it, bracket,
As a Muslim, I disagree.
and a detailed explanation of everything, and a guide and a mercy for the people who believe.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
How does that-
What you make of that?
So what that's saying to me is that the Quran is meant to be a warning,
Yeah.
okay? And it's a warning against the unbeliever of the coming judgment of Allah.
Okay.
And that the judgment of Allah cannot be escaped.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. It is that juggernaut coming down the track that you can't get away from.
Yeah.
And that they have some stories that they have, which have some good lessons in them.
Yeah.
But those stories are not the Quran. And the Quran isn't a forged story. So the people were accusing Muhammad of making up a story that they had heard before from someone else. Which actually historically is true. We see the evidence for that in the Talmuds and in the Gnostic Gospel, the infancy Gnostic Gospel. But the Quran is not forged, and it is a clear explanation of everything and a guidance to mankind. So that's what I understand by that. So I would expect the Quran to guide you in saying what is the ambiguous and the unambiguous verses, and you so far have not yet been able to do that. You've simply argued that people will be drawn to.
But that's what the Quran is saying. It's not.
Exactly. But the point is that doesn't define for me what the ambiguous and the unambiguous verses are.
Maybe it's not sufficient for you.
Because the groups accuse one another of deviancy.
Of course they will.
That Ash'ari that left us earlier, he accused a Salafi of polytheism. He said it to me over there.
Yeah. Okay. Can I now? The way I've understood it is similarly to you, but I add more flavor to it. So here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is clearly talking about, first of all, incidences that took place prior to the Quran.
Yep.
And those incidences are being confirmed. And when Allah says He will describe things in detail,
Yep.
then I think of incidences in the Quran where Allah describes those stories. For example, the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. Yusuf alayhi salam's story, and this is the only story, by the way, in the Quran that is described in a chronological order,
Yep.
which you're aware of. The Quran does not really describe things in chronological order per se. So when Allah talks about the things that He will confirm and things that He will explain in detail, are those things that whenever a story does come up, for example, the story of Abraham and his father,
Yep.
it's explained in detail.
Yep.
So that's why I understood it.
Yep.
But muhkamat and these ayat that are ambiguous are more verses to do with of metaphysical nature.
And hear me clearly. What I'm saying is you have no justification for saying that the ambiguous verses are those verses.
Why?
Okay, I'll leave it there.
Next week.
It's lovely speaking to you.
Thank you.
Click up that Bible, read it, come and ask me questions about it, bro.
I do.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing is with me, which is a bit. With me, the thing is that when I read the Bible, I don't read the Bible to find mistakes in it. I read the Bible to find connections in it to Islam.
Considering the company you keep, I struggle to believe that. But that might be me being harsh.
Yeah.
That might be me being harsh. Anyway, it's nice talking to you.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you
Look
very
after
much.
yourself.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, so let's do it. Are we done?
Sami, please. Sami, be nice.
Sammy,
be nice.
if you would like to have a debate, let's do it next week.
Did you find the verse?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
You just weren't here for it. What?
Can we have a 2-minute chat?
2-minute chat, absolutely.
No.
Okay.
Bob,
2-minute chat.
Just
Go
give
on.
me reference. Just give me reference.
Sorry?
Okay.
Off camera.
So do the quick wrap up. Sami, let him do a wrap up.
No. I want only
No.
to give me the verse.
No.
Give me the verse. Give me the reference.
No.
Did you like?
So, what's your
Yeah, so my chat is
He lied.
off camera? Yeah.
is I know this.
Yeah.
It's off camera, yeah.
It is turn out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's massive holes in the description.
Oh no, that's not mine. That's mine.